In the Chicago of the 1970s, there was a friendly clown who brought laughter to all. But behind that painted mask lay a terrifying truth, more horrific than anyone could have imagined. Before we descend into the darkness, please subscribe and hit the like button. It truly helps us uncover more mysterious cases like this one. John Wayne Gacy, a successful businessman and a respected pillar of the community. No one suspected a thing. He was a local Democratic precinct captain, a man who loved hosting elaborate parties for his neighbors. He appeared perfectly normal, gregarious even. He even visited children's wards to comfort the sick, volunteering under the persona of Pogo the Clown. Clowns can get away with murder. When he said this, it wasn't just a dark joke, it was a confession. His home was often filled with guests, but at night, it transformed into something else entirely, a fortress guarding a grim secret. Gacy was always surrounded by young men, using the promise of construction jobs as bait to lure them in. One by one, boys began to vanish, but the police dismissed them as mere runaways. Gacy's social status acted as an impenetrable shield. The screams from the darkness could not pierce those thick walls. To the neighbors, the sounds were just more construction work. His double life seemed flawless, but the crack in his facade began with something very small. In December 1978, 15-year-old Robert Peast vanished without a trace from his job at a pharmacy just before his mother's birthday party. The last person Robert had spoken to was none other than John Wayne Gacy, who had been there to discuss a remodeling contract. The police finally placed Gacy under surveillance, but he remained arrogant. "Do you know who I am?" he mocked the officers. The detectives refused to back down. They began a 24-hour watch, tracking Gacy every move. Gacy enjoyed playing cat and mouse with the law. He even had the audacity to offer to buy dinner for the detectives tailing him. But the stench emanating from his home could no longer be ignored. He claimed it was a sewage problem, but it was the smell of a rotting truth. The detectives knew exactly what that scent was. It wasn't sewage. It was the smell of death. When police finally entered with a warrant, Gacy sat calmly by his fireplace, acting completely unconcerned. Evidence of the missing boys was everywhere: class rings, IDs, and clothing. There was no room left for excuses. Then, the police turned their attention to the dark, damp void beneath the house, the crawlspace. At the end of a flashlight beam, cutting through the narrow dark, the shape of a human bone was revealed. It was hell on earth. Bodies were stacked upon bodies in that cramped space. His entire property was a massive graveyard. The recovery process was gruesome. Officers working in the suffocating mud endured immense physical and psychological trauma. 29 bodies were recovered from the house alone. The others had been discarded in a nearby river. Even as these horrific discoveries came to light, Gacy remained shockingly composed, as if he were listening to someone else's story. The news sent shockwaves across the country. The reality of the killer clown terrified the nation, leaving his neighbors trembling in fear. In court, Gacy attempted to evade justice by pleading insanity. He claimed he suffered from a split personality. He insisted he didn't commit the murders, but that his alter ego, Bad Jack, was responsible. But the prosecution revealed just how calculated and methodical his crimes truly were. He would manipulate his victims with a handcuff magic trick, leaving them helpless before he attacked. The rope trick was a technique of torture. These were not accidental deaths. They were a clear plan to find pleasure in inflicting pain. Testimony from a survivor silenced the courtroom. Yet, in Gacy's eyes, there was no hint of guilt. The jury concluded he was not insane, but rather pure evil. In March 1980, the court sentenced him to death. It was the price for the 33 lives he had stolen. On his way to death row, he still maintained the posture of a victim. Even behind bars, he was shameless. He began to paint, and his primary subject was the clown persona he once inhabited. His paintings sold for high prices on the outside. For the victims' families, it was a cruel and ongoing torment. He never repented. In interviews, he even mocked the world for condemning him. As his execution day drew near, he spoke often, but never once did he say the words, "I am sorry." May 10, 1994. The devil's final day had arrived. For his final meal, he ordered fried shrimp, chicken, and strawberries, indulgent to his own desires until the very end. His final words as he entered the execution chamber were chilling: "Kiss my ass." The needle was inserted, and the heart of the man who took 33 lives finally stopped beating. His brain was donated to science. They sought to find some abnormality within the mind of a monster. But the findings were normal. He wasn't a patient with a biological defect. He was simply an evil human being. Gacy's house was demolished. The land was leveled to erase that dark history. A new home stands there now, occupied by new residents. But memories are not so easily swept away. Unidentified victims remain, yet through scientific advancement, they are reclaiming their names one by one. In 2011, through DNA matching, a boy who had long been unidentified was finally returned to his family. It was late, but it offered a small measure of peace to a grieving family. John Wayne Gacy left us with a chilling lesson. The devil does not have horns. Instead, he wears the face of your kindest neighbor. How well do we truly know those around us? Is the neighbor you greet every morning really the person you believe them to be? A cold blade hides behind the clown smile, waiting for us to let our guard down. We honor the victims. Their names must be remembered longer than the killers. 33 boys. They were sons, brothers, and futures cut short. That is the story for today. Never judge a person by their appearance alone, for the truth often hides deep beneath the surface, far beyond what we can see. If you found this video compelling, please subscribe and like. We will return with more mysterious cases. Next time, we will uncover an even more shocking truth. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, and good night.